I want to tell you something today. I'm sitting here at McDonald's. Yes, we have McDonald's is here as much as you want. It's a kind of expensive. It's not that cheap as I thought. Uh, anyway, I want to tell you something about someone. How I actually recognized, I think, I'm not a doctor, but I think it is probably a narcissist or something like that. How I recognized him. First of all, everything is about him. He's not aware of it, but I actually found out through his own speech. They tell it to you. Just listen to them very carefully. I actually found out that everything is about him. He didn't know how to communicate properly. So if the lucky thing is, I'm not in love or something. Because when people are in love, they usually do things they would never they would never normally do. They lose their boundaries and things like that, and it's love, it's this, it's that. No, it's not. You have to listen very carefully and open your eyes and see very carefully. So the first of all, everything is about him. Like I had a feeling like I was born to serve him or to be his servant or to do something for him. Like everything that he needs is a priority. And he was a very sick man actually. So he was like I don't know how to put it in a better way. He wanted to buy a wife probably because he doesn't know anything better. I don't know how to put it differently, but it looked like that to me. He didn't know how to communicate properly with people. I mentioned already, he couldn't. I spoke about this already. He couldn't find an apartment. He lived in a dump, and he couldn't find an apartment for himself. Of course, because people don't like him. I go and I find an apartment immediately, because people, when they talk to me, they laugh with me, they just talk to me. But this guy, they always notice, probably, that's what I think, they don't like him because they noticed about him there is something wrong. When you lose your boundaries, you don't see it. I have my boundaries. I have it very well, And I thought for years, actually, that something was wrong with me because of that. But I see clearly now that I'm older. I see that I see beyond this illusion, and I hear beyond somebody's words. I hear people very carefully. I'm very careful about what people talk. And I remember I told him, you don't know how to talk. He tells me, you will do this, blah, blah, blah. You will do that, blah, blah, blah. He gives me orders what I'm supposed to do. I heard that. I never said anything. So basically, I left in style. But he thinks he's right. And there's another thing about this guy. For example, he wants to play the victim. He was a little victimized, I don't know, as a child or something, a little, but I don't know what happened, whatever. It was many, many years ago, and if I could let go of mine, so can you let go of yours? But no, you can't get rid of smoking. He has an obstruction of lungs. This is not a joke. The guy smoked 3 or 4 packages daily. So if you can smoke that much, you obviously want to die because of something, and you earned your own obstruction of lungs. I didn't, and I don't want it. And call me when you stop smoking. I'm not gonna be around you. He drinks like 15, 16 coffees a day. Is this normal for you? Is this normal? First, he cried because he didn't have money, and now that he does, because he has some kind of pension, very, very, very good pension. It's like 3 normal salaries in here, so he can live a good life actually. But no, he can't find a place to live. He's incompetent, as I said. He's incompetent, as I said before. People see something's wrong with him, or they have their own doubts. I don't know. And then it's his charm. He thinks he's very charming, and he thought that he can go around me as he did before when he was younger. He can talk like this, he can say this, hey, say that, this is funny. No, I don't find it funny. I take things very seriously. If they're funny, they're funny. If they're not funny, they're not funny. He thinks he's charming, and most of the time it goes, because you play a little victim, you play a little half truths, you do this, you do that, and but what can I do now? You play helpless, and I've seen this game, I understand it, and he's always some kind of victim. If he's not your victim, then he's somebody else's. Then he goes to you for help. Actually, he's the guy who causes somebody else to go ask for help if they're aware in time. I was aware pretty much in advance. So I had how do you say, huge advantages here. And yes, he always thinks there is, if I have my principles, if I have my habits, if I have maybe a friend or two, if I have something, you have some principles, you are stubborn, you are like this, you are like that. No, I'm just being careful about myself, because why? There is something wrong with you. I smelled something that I didn't like. I smelled something in your speech and your behavior. I don't want to talk about his behavior, because his behavior to me, it looked like, he's 55 years old, but he behaves like a guy from high school. He's like 13 or 15 or something like that. You don't behave like that. The things he said, he actually only gives orders. Most people in the Balkans here are like that. I remember my grandmother. I don't know how she could live with somebody like that. I liked my grandfather. He was the best grandfather in the world. But you can do that with a kid. When you have a woman and the kids, and many kids, and responsibilities, and when you are already a granddad maybe, you can't do that. So my grandmother actually, she taught you to, in a certain way, she taught you to be like that. And they did it like that in previous times, because you have to get out of the house and get married. Your parents want to get rid of you. You don't live with your parents your whole life. And you just had to marry somebody. That was like that in the previous generations. Today, we are a little bit smarter because we are a little industrialized today. And yes, he made it. Right, it was right at the beginning, he made it like everything that I am or I do or my habits are, everything is wrong. So who are you to tell me that I'm supposed to believe in that there is something wrong, or I should change this, I should change that? Well, if that's the case, then you are the guy who only loves himself, not me. You didn't do anything for me. He always likes to emphasize his value, like you look beautiful, or you know what I like about you. It's always about him, remember? I like the fact that you don't use makeup. Actually, I do. I just forgot to put some eyeliner or something, Do you really know anything about me? It was just the beginning. It was just, and everything, another thing, everything seems to be forced. After 2 weeks, he called me like I'm his wife, Since when do I have a husband? I always had a problem with some kind of possessive and obsessive people in my life, and I always met some men who are so obsessive that they really call me their wife. Like, she's my wife. This is my wife, Barbara. This is my wife. Or I had another guy who told me, I'm marrying you. You are my wife, And he told everybody in the street, there is a bakery, a bar, 2 bars, a bakery, 2 shops, at the main road. He told everybody he's getting married again, This is my wife. Does that sound normal to you? It doesn't sound normal to me. So, I think, I'm not sure, I'm not a doctor, but I think it's a form of narcissism or something. Everything seemed to be so forced, Suddenly, we're going to live together. What do you mean we're going to live together? I know you for 10 days, 15 days or something. Everything is forced too quickly because it has to be everything like he says. He doesn't care about you. You're just how do you say, on a margin, or something like that. But he makes you feel very special because you are very special. And, I'm going to treat you like this, I'm going to treat you like that. Nobody else treated me like this or like that, Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. I'm not that kind of person. I am very flattered. Thank you very much. But I'm not a stupid person. Maybe I'm a little blunt, but I'm not that stupid. He said, he used to say that I'm very serious, I don't have a sense of humor, I said, and I told him, of course I do. I have a sense of humor, but if I find that something is not funny, I don't laugh, So he realized actually there is something wrong. So I recognized him. It lasted for about a month and a half. Yes, and this thing about helping others, they like to help others because this is how they feel more valuable, more important. This is the feeling of their own importance. He did help many people, but it was just because he wanted to be a good guy. He has some kind of picture of himself in his mind probably, and he does that to like feel good or something. It's good to help people. It's good, it's fine. He helped me too, but this is just a trap, because everybody has to be poor, everybody has to be miserable, everybody else has to be, I don't know, maybe stupid or something, so that he can have servants who will listen to him. Yes, he needs some kind of servant, because this is what he is used to servants. Just look at the guy when you go out for a drink. You don't have to eat anything. You just look at him when he orders drinks. I don't know. I have some kind of feeling for that. I always look how they treat the waiter, how they order drinks. For me, for you, for whatever, anybody. Something tells me about them. Something is very important in that. For me, it is. So it didn't last for a long time. I'm not in love. I'm not crazy. I'm not, they're probably expecting people to be crazy for them, or maybe in love, or maybe infatuated or something, because they're so important people or something, or irresistible, or maybe you need help. So he will do something for you, and blah blah blah. You know how it goes. You can't live without them. If it wasn't for him, what would you do, or something like that? Well, it's not true. It's not my reality. It's your reality. And of course, people like that always lose me. They never stay. I just realized I always had similar people to deal with. Not like that exactly, but they're all similar. No, you're not that important in my life. And yes, he had another characteristic. He didn't let me finish my sentence. And I screamed once, "You never let me finish my sentence. What's wrong with you? If I want to tell you something, then I want to tell you something. I don't want you to finish my sentence or something." No, I don't know what he said. I don't remember, but I remember that I told him, "You know what that means? That means you are the most important person in this life for yourself." And he said, "Well, yes, it's true." I didn't say anything, but I thought, well, if you are the most important person, so you are so important that you don't even let me speak. You're gonna finish my sentence. What do you do? What are you doing? Thinking in my head instead of me, or what? How dare you? You don't need my company at all. You need a servant or a personal slave. You're a sick man, so yeah, maybe you need a nurse or a dumb blonde. Yes. Yes, this is all I had to say for today. I don't have too much space on my memory card, but I think this is pretty much everything that I wanted to say. I'd like to hear something from you. If you had some similar experience, maybe with a woman, with a man, I don't know, but everything is about them. Everything. Like I was born, he was behaving like that. Like I was born, he will give me like anything I want because I'm so important. All the best for me, blah blah blah. I remember he always said all the best for me, but we always met at Vanilla. and it was always vanilla. One time I go there, and I need 15 minutes for the waiter to come and ask me what do you want for drink. Another time I remember I went to vanilla. I ordered vanilla cappuccino, and I got chocolate cappuccino. Another time I went like that there, and I ordered something and I didn't get it. I got something else, and fuck you and your vanilla. But no, every time we meet at vanilla. I don't want to go to vanilla, and I have nothing to explain to you. I have nothing to explain myself to somebody else. Why? I don't want to go there. They don't give me good service. I order something and they give me another drink. It's not one time, it's like 5-6 times already. I don't want to go to vanilla. You fuck yourself together with vanilla. It's always about him. It's always he is important. Where am I in this story? You say you do everything for me. No, you don't. You do everything for yourself. You are selfish. I'm not. So, no, I just didn't say goodbye. I didn't say goodbye. Actually, I did. I remember he called the taxi and he expected me to go home with him. And I put his things in the taxi, and then I said goodbye. And he was surprised. Of course, he was surprised. He was expecting me to go to his house and cook lunch for him, and things like that. No. I'll give you your flour and garlic and everything. I just bought. He sent me to the shop, and I asked him, so what's the next thing you're gonna do? Send me to buy you a box of matches? Like, you send a kid in the shop. So I did. I went to the shop and I bought something that he wanted, he needed actually. And I put it in the car and I said goodbye. And he was terribly surprised. But he said goodbye too. That for me is the sign that you really did everything for yourself, not for me. You see, I read people very well. You need to buy somebody. You need a slave or a servant to buy him or her. You didn't do anything for me. Because if you did, you would at least apologize. You would at least know what you're doing. But no, if you're always right, then in my own style, I'll give you an answer. Eat shit. So I'm glad I recognized this in time. I recognized everything and I didn't let myself be stupid actually. People are stupid, so. And when we talk, he doesn't listen to me. He doesn't hear. I say something, and he kind of forgets because it's not important. It's not important that I have a channel with videos. He knows that I do, but he never watched not even one. So I'm not important, am I? Well, you're not important to me too. So goodbye. Yes, eat shit. You got what you deserved. So yes, if you had some similar experiences, just let me know how it went. And don't let yourself be fooled with people like that. I remember I live here in the Balkans. I thought that everybody is like this because we were taught to be either obedient or either slaves and thieves and shitheads of every type, And yes, just let me know what you did in your life. Until then, bye-bye.